Welcome back to Woodworking for Mere Mortals. This video is sponsored by me. If you've ever thought that making furniture and other projects for your home sounded like fun, well, it is. Woodworking is a fun hobby that'll always provide you with new and interesting challenges, and getting started has never been easier with my step-by-step approach called The Weekend Woodworker. Head over to weekendwoodworkercourse.com and you'll be building your first project this weekend. Absolutely no experience necessary. Now let's get on to the pre-haircut, Steve. Probably the biggest hot button issue I see in woodworking has nothing to do with which expensive miter gauge is best or whether end grain provides the strongest woodworking joint, but rather the way we measure things, imperial or metric. If this is a topic that you are very emotional about and feel the need to leave a salty comment, please take it over to Twitter. The purpose of this video is pragmatic. I just want to explain how American measurements work to the rest of the world who find them confusing. Of course, I'm confining this discussion to dimensional measurements used in woodworking. I think it's important to point out that the imperial system of measurement is deeply entrenched into the culture of the US. Imperial measurements are in every aspect of our day-to-day lives, from cooking to sports to stepping on a scale to the gas we buy and the speeds we drive. As an individual, it would be virtually impossible for me to use metric only in my workshop. The entire building and construction industry and all of its tools, designs, and plans are imperial. If I were on a job site, I would have to be able to communicate with other workers in inches and feet. It's just the way it is. As children in school, we're taught how to use both imperial measurements as well as metric, and there's plenty of areas where metric is used exclusively, most notably in science and 2-liter soda bottles. So, bottom line, imperial measurements aren't going away anytime soon in the US, but it's not as difficult as you might think. I want to start with what I think is the biggest source of frustration, the fact that the imperial system isn't in base 10. While this is true, it's not something you need to worry about too often in woodworking. The basic unit of measurement is an inch. An easy way to visualize an inch is about 25 millimeters, or if you like rounder numbers, think 10 centimeters is equaling about 4 inches. Almost everything in woodworking is measured in inches, so you don't need to worry about feet or yards. So a coffee table might be 32 inches wide by 20 inches deep. There's no need to complicate things by using feet, so things like furniture plans are always in inches. As things get bigger, say in building construction, you'll start to see feet. A foot is 12 inches long. Yes, it's kind of dumb, but that's just how it is. You get used to it, just like you get used to a 12-hour clock or a 12-month year. Although I do kind of like the idea of converting to a metric time system. So say a wall might be described as 16 feet wide rather than 192 inches, just to make the numbers more manageable. Anything between foot measurements are included as inches. So if that wall was 194 inches wide, we would probably call it 16 feet 2 inches. When written, feet are indicated by an apostrophe and a quotation mark indicates inches. In general, I think most Americans would agree that it's easiest for us to visualize anything big in feet. Unlike the simplicity of converting millimeters, centimeters, and meters in your mind, I would be pretty hard-pressed to imagine the length of a 540-inch driveway. But if you call it 45 feet, I have a pretty good picture in my head. And for what it's worth, a yard is 3 feet long, or 36 inches. But yards aren't really used for anything other than football fields and for measuring fabric. Interestingly, a football field itself has become a common unit of measurement. For really tiny measurements, we use human hairs. But again, as a woodworker, you really only have to think about inches and fractions. So I think more than anything, metric users get confused by fractions. First, let me point out that fractions are only used for subdividing inches. They're always they always indicate a length less than an inch. So there's no such thing as, say, an eighth of a foot. I mean, there is, but it's not something anybody would actually say or use. The best way to think about fractions used in construction is that everything is based on dividing things into halves. So the middle of an inch is half an inch. You take half of that and you have a quarter. Half of that is an eighth of an inch, and half of an eighth is a 16th. For woodworking purposes, you don't need to break it down any further than that. Think of a 16th of an inch like you do a millimeter. You don't need any more precision than that when working with an organic material like wood. So again, halves, quarters, eighths, and 16ths are the only fractions you'll use. Tape measures are usually divided into 16ths with markings indicating eighths, quarters, and halves. So when you measure something, you just note the closest fraction of an inch. So this board is 4 5/8 inches long. Its width is 2 3/4 inch. The only challenge in dealing with fractions is if you need to add or subtract them. Thankfully, this isn't something that comes up very often when building things. Usually you're cutting boards to given measurements. If you encounter this, try to think back to your grade school math class and that whole business about least common denominator. So if you wanted to add, say, 3/16 to 5/8, you would turn that 5/8 into 10/16, just doubling the top and bottom numbers. Now you can add the two top numbers together, the 10 and the 3, and bam, there you go, 13/16. Sometimes it might add up more than an inch. Say if you wanted to add two boards that are each 5/8 of an inch thick. Again, since the bottom numbers are the same, just add the tops together. Uh-oh, that's 10/8. No worries, just remember that 8/8 is a whole inch. So the total is 1 2/8 of an inch. Of course, to simplify things, we would just call 2/8 a quarter of an inch. But again, this is stuff you don't have to worry about too much in the workshop, and there's always plenty of online tools and calculators to help you out or convert measurements if needed. Ultimately, imperial measurements aren't as intimidating as you might think. They're just weirder than metric. I hope this simplified it a bit when you see these measurements pop up in American YouTube videos or plans that you might download. I would suggest buying an imperial tape measure like this one that has both units on it. But the most important thing to know is that a 2x4 is actually 1.5 inches by,